James Chen weighed 90 kilograms. On a training battlefield where Krell soldiers averaged 180, where Vortak combat specialists possessed 3 times a human's muscle density, and where the average alien cadet could bench press a starship engine, James was a joke. "Look at the human," a Krell officer sneered during the first evaluation. "It can barely lift its own weapon." The alien recruits laughed. Even his human squad mates, all genetically modified super soldiers from Mars colonies, looked embarrassed for him. James had failed the genetic enhancement lottery. No augmentation. No reinforced bones. No neural optimization. He was baseline human. Weak. Fragile. Useless. Drill Sergeant Voreth, a 7-foot Vrexian with mandibles that could crush titanium, made the announcement official. "Cadet Chen, you are cleared to graduate, but you will never see combat. You'll process logistics. Congratulations on your participation medal." James said nothing. He'd heard it his entire life. That night, he disabled the training simulation's safety protocols. The next morning, the Galcom training command was in chaos. Their star Krell recruit, Commander Vex, undefeated in 173 matches, had been hospitalized. Spine fractured in 4 places. Shattered clavicle. Internal bleeding. The medical team was baffled. The security footage showed nothing conclusive, just a blur of motion and Vex screaming. "What happened?" Sergeant Voreth demanded. "Simulation malfunction," was all the report said. But James knew. He'd studied combat for 6 years while his body refused to grow stronger. He'd watched aliens rely on raw power, on genetic superiority, on advantages evolution had handed them. They'd never learned what it meant to be prey. Never learned to move like something might eat them. Never learned that precision, timing, and understanding your enemy's psychology could replace the muscle you'd never have. 3 more accidents followed. A Vortak heavyweight champion woke up unable to move his arms. A Krell berserker took a hit to the solar plexus that left him gasping for breath for hours. A Vrexian tactical specialist found himself unconscious from a strike that technically should have been blocked. Each time, James stood nearby. Watching. Learning. Improving. The investigation deepened. Galcom's cybersecurity team found traces of deleted simulation logs. Someone was using the training grounds after hours. Someone weak enough that no one bothered to monitor them closely. They found James. What followed was the fastest court-martial in military history. They were about to discharge him when something unexpected happened. Commander Vex himself requested a private meeting. The Krell warrior sat across from James, still visibly injured, his exoskeleton marked with healing wounds. "You did this," Vex said. "Not a question." James didn't deny it. "You broke me," Vex continued, flexing his fingers experimentally. "I've fought across the outer colonies. I've killed warriors whose strength would horrify you. And you did this in a simulation with no combat experience on your record." Vex leaned forward. "Galcom won't let you serve. But I will." Within a month, James was in Vex's private unit. Within 6 months, he'd turned a regiment of mediocre soldiers into a combat force that moved like a single organism, efficient, deadly, utterly lethal. The Krell warlord Zarthax found out about the human when one of his elite companies got slaughtered in the Kepler sector. 800 warriors. Dead. Killed by a human commander who had no genetic enhancements, no augmentations, no biological advantages. "What is his weakness?" Zarthax demanded. "He has no weakness," came the reply. "He simply sees what others don't. He understands that strength is not power. It is will." Across the galaxy, species that had dominated warfare for millennia suddenly realized something terrifying: they'd been evolving the wrong way. Evolution had given them muscles and fangs and armor plating. But Earth had given humanity something different. Adaptability. Creativity. The profound, unshakable will to win despite every disadvantage. By the time James Chen was 28, the Galactic Council had a name for the principle of warfare he'd created, the Chen Doctrine. Military academies across 1,000 star systems now taught a baseline human cadet's combat philosophy to soldiers with genetic advantages that should have made him irrelevant. The weakest human Marine cadet had become the galaxy's most feared warrior. And he'd done it with nothing but his mind. Kindly like and subscribe channel. Thank you.